Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers. We recap the week. We talk fresh content. We talk about Saturday's game. This is a once a week live show that we do. Um, just chatting Brewers. So we throw strikes, get likes, hit dingers, get listeners. Um, as always, we just enjoy talking baseball. So we're here to talk baseball live on a Saturday. If you want to join the stream, you are welcome to. You just click the link for StreamYard. For whatever reason, I did not space it properly, so hopefully it allows you to click the link. I redid it there. Hopefully that works. All right. So that being said, we're going to talk about today's spring training game. We're going to talk about the USA's matchup, which is kicking off here momentarily, shortly. Yes, 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna try and put it on my TV. But yes, so we're gonna talk about the game. We're gonna talk about kind of my thoughts on the roster and where we sit at this juncture. Kind of wrap up the week and just kind of go over what we can. So this week, the WBC has been thoroughly progressing, and the majority of the baseball I watched, I actually haven't watched any. I don't know if this game is on Fox. We'll find out. Clicked on FS1. But how we doing? It is good to see everyone. I always appreciate. Let's. Oh nope, that's NASCAR. WBC is probably on Fox. Is going to be my guess. Oop, we are not in the right ballpark here. But so that being said, we've gone over a lot this week. We've had a lot of conversation. I'm gonna risk that this video gets taken off the air, just to watch because this matchup matters. Mark DeBrose at 2-0, and it is the first inning. There we go. Mark DeBrose is the manager, in case you didn't know. Hopefully, I won't get nailed for that being up in the corner, but who knows? We will see. So exciting baseball because we're getting to the point where more players are going to be playing that we're going to see for the season. You're going to get more time. I think Willie Adames was in for I don't know better part of 4 inning the whole game today. I think we're going to see more guys kind of fitting into those roles as we go. Um, so Machado is back because their team did not make it. So he went 2 for 3. Dahl went 2 for 2. Is Dahl on the Padres? He must be. So let's look at the box. Let's break down the box. So for the Brewers, we started with Naquin, Adames, Winker, Voit, Voit, Contreras. Contreras keeps getting in there every day. Owen Miller, Turang, Weimer. I'm assuming Sal Frelick isn't fully back yet. My guess would be just because of like he was over in the other pool across the I don't want to get myself in trouble. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. Question: did we lose a good minor leaguer in order to get Javi Guerra? That is a great question. So the guy that we lost was not anything good in from what I've seen, and it was really those players to be named later always turn out to be random guys. Maybe if I just move to I put my head blocking the TV, I won't get in trouble for it. No, that's really awkward because I'm way over here and then you're just looking at the empty room. So no, I don't think we did. I talked about this the other day. And I remember breezing through it because I was just like, no, I don't care. And if you've watched my show for any length of time, I always say a prospect is a prospect. And what I mean by that is literally these guys could be flashes in the pan. They could be the best player we've ever had. So you really don't know, and that's the fact of the matter when it comes down to it. Like, look at Keston Hiura. Keston Hiura had a great start to his Brewers tenure, but then he fizzled and he couldn't find a position, and that's where we're at. Now we're trying to decide where we're going to put Keston Hiura, what his position is going to be overall, and we're kind of in a rock and a hard place, I guess. Because he's your guy. You've brought him up. I do not like that. Every time I click on the MLB site on Google on my computer, for whatever reason, it takes me to the ticket page, and I don't want to go to the ticket page. So there was an update here. Where was it? It was part of the moves. Okay, so we lost. Hold on. Transactions. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I can't remember it. It was very forgettable. Let's just put it that way. I'm not seeing it right now. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. It was on this article the other day. He wasn't noteworthy, though. Let me tell you, he wasn't noteworthy. Haven't heard too much about Wade Miley and where he'd be in the rotation. I don't think they know. To be honest, I really don't think they know. Wade Miley has been a piece that you can slot in. He'll give you some good time. I'm not really sure that they know what they're going to do in the end of the rotation. Um, as we speak, I think one of the things with that is it all depends on how we start. You're going to have your Corbin Burns, you're going to have Brandon Woodruff, probably Freddie Peralta, Eric Eric Lauer, and I think they're going to play matchup. I mean, I think it's going to be a matchup game where they're going to say, okay, we're going to roll out maybe Miley, then Lauer. So we'll see the matchups. We'll see it when it comes. But the Craig Counsell likes to have that play. He likes to have that ability in the back end of his starting rotation to be able to do whatever the hell he wants. And I don't think they put much thought into it because there's so much other stuff that they're trying to figure out. There's so many things that they're more pressing. They're more important at this juncture. Um, and that's what it comes down to. Today's game, 6-11. I mean, nothing to talk about here. The only thing I would like to talk about is it seems Brewers broadcasts have gone by the wayside for spring, and it seems like we just every time they put a broadcast out, it's always it's on Bally Sports Wisconsin, but it's not actually Bally Sports Wisconsin. It's the broadcast of the other team because the other team is like, for instance, the Padres, where they're a bigger team than us. So I don't know that I know our TV announcers and our broadcasters are all down there, but I don't know that Brian Anderson is down there. I mean, I've talked to um, a handful of these guys, and so the big thing here today, Bryce Wilson got lit up. Cousins got lit up as well. Guerra, well, I shouldn't say lit up. He gave up 2 runs. Guerra gave up no runs. Strzelecki gave up no runs. Payamps gave up 3. Perguo gave up 0 runs. So what is there to say from all of this? We're kind of figuring these guys out. Some of these guys have already been optioned. A guy like Guerra, Payamps, I think those are guys you're gonna maybe potentially see. Cousins, if he can figure it out, he's still coming back from injury. USA is up 3-0 right now as we speak. Anderson's at the plate. Those are the things they care about. They know that they're going to bring Wade Miley. They're going to bring Eric Lauer. They're going to bring, Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta. They know all those guys are going to be there. They got to figure out the end pieces, the bullpen pieces, and that's where these spring training games matter to these guys. It's how do they handle these situations? Okay, they played the Padres today, and we gave up 10 hits, or no, I'm sorry, 11 hits. We got 10 hits. Where is that just a spring training outing, and where is that the real thing? What are you going to see when these guys get to the majors or play on your major league roster? And you're going to play the game with the options. I think some of these guys have no options or very limited options. Tim Anderson, look at him, stud. Ruiz is pitching. I like that I see William Contreras out there every day. Adames came back right away. Adames wanted to actually play yesterday in the first game back, but did not take the opportunity, did not get the opportunity to play because of Council wanted him to just take a day to chill, as he said in the press conference. I enjoy right now where we're getting to see where these guys are going to fit, what they're going to do. We are doing new stuff too, so we are live on Twitter with this as well. So you can see our live session just about anywhere now. I'm trying to figure out how to get this to more places, and that's really the story too. Like right now, the story of what we're talking about is really where these pieces going to fit. Are we going to see a roster that includes a Weimer, a Garrett Mitchell, and a Sal Frelick? Are we going to see that? I think we get Sal Frelick. I think we get Garrett Mitchell. I think Garrett Mitchell's pretty much a lock at this point, outside of this hamstring getting worse than it is. He wasn't in today, but I believe, as I read yesterday, he is going to start back Monday or Tuesday for getting some play time. So that's really important. That's big because we want him to bounce back well. We want to enjoy getting to watch him. I'm just looking to see. There's actually an article about Weimer, and I wanted to see Joey Weimer has seen the field this spring training as most as any Brewers, Milwaukee Brewers, and that's not for nothing. He's playing because he has a chance to be here. Brewers manager Craig Counsell said, "That's why he's playing. Obviously, he's close. We have uncertainty in the outfield right now, and that created some opportunities for guys." The opening day roster is indeed in need of Weimer, who is hitting 231, 300, 762 with 2 homers while starting 11 games across all 3 outfield positions. Weimer's 64 innings in the field, entering Saturday's game against the Padres. So he's got a big opportunity because of the injury to Tyrone Taylor. And I think Frelick might be a lock at this point, and I think Weimer could potentially, if we can start the season with all 3 of these guys in position to play and get some serious play time, this could be dangerous. This could be dangerous good and dangerous bad all at the same time, because then you're going to have our rotation, which is still the young core rotation that it's been, but you're also going to have the young outfield. You could give Yelich days off or DH days when you have this opportunity with this young outfield. And that in itself is huge. I was thinking about this the other day when I was listening to the game. I'm like, what if these 3 guys would have came ahead of or at the same time a couple years ago, 3 years ahead? Where would we be? We'd already have a World Series under our belts because these guys are talented. They are young, talented crew. And it is awesome to see that and to have that opportunity for our club. Last thing on the spring training game that I won, 2 hours and 54 minutes. So just shy of 3 hours. Every game has been just shy of 3 hours. It's like they actually made this pitch clock thing work. Pitch timer. I think it's called the pitch timer. I don't actually think it's called the pitch clock. They said something about that in one of the broadcasts that I was listening to. It might have been the Angels announcers. So it's actually called the pitch timer, not the pitch clock. The clock thing came in because football, it's a play clock. So that's what I've heard. Anybody got any questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna hop over to the roster and talk about who I think. We did start the Miller Park Minute Fantasy Baseball. I might do a second round, like a more serious one. Like we all throw $20 in a pool. If anybody's interested in doing that, please let me know. I'd like to have one free one and one cash one. Butcher wanted to do a cash one last year, and we just never did it. Which is funny because it only takes like just a very few minutes to set one of those up. I just didn't. I guess I didn't reach out and see who was available or who wanted to do it. So. Bring it on. Yes. Yes. I like it. I like it. I like it. Richard, you held your own last year, and I want to say it was your first year, right? It was fun. I remember every week I went up against you, and I was like, oh God, I gotta make sure that I'm prepared for this matchup. You know what I mean? Like it was tough, and I liked it. I like it. That's what I like. You switch guys in and out. You gotta make sure you set your rosters. Sometimes you forget to set your rosters, and then we gotta do it all over again. Or hope for the best. Hope that the other guy doesn't put up any points. I like the way we do it too. I've really enjoyed the format that we have. I may edit it this year and add like a secondary DH spot because there's a lot of times where I only have one. I only allow one, and the reason I only allowed one was because it forces you to not hold on to a guy for forever, and I think that's a good way to go about it. But at the same time, I'm open to changing and stuff like that. Maybe I'll message everybody and just say, "Hey, what do you think?" Yeah, there's a lot of talk about who's potentially going to be top prospect. Joey Weimer could be on the opening day roster. So now we're moving closer to that decision. The other decision that I spent some time on, and I don't really think is a decision anymore at this point. Lynn's getting lit up. First homer of the tournament. Who just hit it? Luis Arise. That guy, Luis Arise, can hit the tar out of the ball. And he just hits. He's the purest hitter in today's game. And it shows. They just went I mean, they didn't go up, but Venezuela is a tough team. They've been tough. I don't know if you guys have been watching this, but I've been tuning in every opportunity I get. Not the early games. I'm not up that early, but I read the boxes. What was I saying? Oh, Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt is hands down. I think he gets on the roster. I think that he is a no doubt should be there. And then you decide if the other guys are better than Keston and Hura. And if they aren't, then they go down. I find it hard. And, there's a guy, one of my regulars, sorry if I'm offending you and I say this, but the guy has not been good. He is not worthy of a spot on our major league team. And that's the thing we got to think of. We can't just play favoritism or give any kind of give it any thought to this where it's like, oh yeah, the guy, like he's been with us, he's our prospect. It's time to fuck the feelings. Let's move on. Pardon my language. Sorry, but like I don't care. I want a player who is going to be contributing every day and can be put in a position, a playing position, not just a DH role. And Keston Hiura hasn't showed that he can do anything in the field. So I actually talked about hot dogs this week. That was the lack of news this week. I talked about the Vienna beef hot dogs, and I was like, oh, why am I talking about hot dogs? The other things I talked about were just the roster spots. Trade Rumors had a good article talking about Keston Hiura and breaking down his stats and how he hasn't been able to play any real position. They've tried him at second, they've tried him at first, they gave him some time in the outfield. He hasn't found a position that works for him in this game. And then he hasn't found the bat. He had one good season with the bat. It'd be the same if Garrett Mitchell comes out this year and it's just atrocious with the bat. Then you need to send him back down and have him figure it out. And it's not personal. That's just business, guys. Ooh, look at me. You know who I sound like? David Sampson. I listen to that guy all the time. 3-hit day for Jesse Winger. Single up the middle, single through the right side, and double down the left field line. I love some of the spins of positive. Okay, so we've got this matchup going on, and let me tell you, it is intense right now. I am just it's hard for me to not like watching the all-star game of all-star games, the tournament of tournaments. You're getting guys that don't normally play on the same roster. I mean, there's no way right now that you can get Mookie Betts and Mike Trout on the same roster because AL, NL. But because of the WBC, you can. Because we're playing World Baseball Classic baseball, you can. And that's awesome. Trey Turner, JT Realmuto. This is the lineup for the next inning. Due up, top of second. And it's only the second. Oh, it's gonna get good, guys. As far as Brewers baseball goes, I don't have much for the rest of the Brewers baseball. We're gonna start adding more content to the schedule if that even seems right. I'm gonna get people to do predictions. So if you want to send in a prediction video, you can be at. I'll add you to the screen here, and we'll do a side by side. If you ever want to be on an episode, feel free to write me. You can be on an episode with me. I don't mind. I have fun with this whole thing across the board. So this is what I do. This is what I love to do. I've seen Paul Goldschmidt on the list of players to avoid drafting. What are your thoughts? Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt happens. Goldschmidt finds a way. Goldschmidt is a player. He is a guy. He's a potential MVP. I think every year. I wouldn't see if I was selfish and wanted to script your chances in fantasy baseball, I'd tell you no, don't draft him. But I'm not that way. I think Goldschmidt is good no matter what. I think Goldschmidt will be just as good this year. I relate him to a Justin Verlander where he only gets better with age. Since he has become a Cardinal, he has been awesome. It's unfortunate because, interdivision trades or people that are traded, they're good. Like Waino. Waino's been a guy that's been in our division the whole time. I said this the other night. It's hard to root for him, but at the same time, when you're watching the WBC, you have to root for him. Just like Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado was great when he was out in Colorado because Colorado wasn't any good, and you didn't have to worry about it. But now that he's in our division, like I want to root for Nolan Arenado, but at the same time, he's in our division. So yeah, I wouldn't. uh, Guys with age, guys with guys that have skill, I always will pick them up first every time. And maybe we'll talk. Maybe I'll just do a live uh fantasy baseball podcast once we draft it. Um I read the magazines too. I read the articles. Um I go by gut more though with fantasy baseball. I like to just pick up guys that I feel are going to be okay. And I've done pretty well. I mean, I've come in second and third place in respective years. So, and that's our style though. There is different styles to fantasy baseball. So, if anybody's different has a different style or would like to invite me to a league, I will gladly look at your invitation and see. I just got one the other day that I didn't accept yet, but I will be. Real Muto. Ooh, somebody got hurt. Salvador. Salvador is getting a water break. They're checking on him. You know who's on Venezuela too? Yoli Chassin. Yoli Chassin is on Venezuela. Salvi looks okay. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he's leaving the field. Is he leaving the game? Nope, he's playing. He's a gamer. Salvi's a gamer. Um, Probably took a hard one of the nuts. That happens. Oh gosh. Three biggest surprises in Brewers camp. Reviewing the brew. Mike Brasso. Mike Brasso is the utility guy. Sign him up for that role. He ain't going anywhere. Tyson Miller and Brian Anderson. I think Brian Anderson is a lock too. I was going to talk about the roster, and I totally forgot where I'm going. We had other guys that I thought might be above Brian Anderson, but Mike Brasso, Brian Anderson. Let me go back to my last roster update that I talked about. When did I talk about the roster last? I've given so many rosters. Okay. So at this juncture, Christian Yelich, obviously a lock. Willie Adames, obviously a lock. Rowdy Tellez, obviously a lock. William Contreras, obviously a lock. Jesse Winker, obviously a lock. Brandon Anderson, I've already had him slotted in. Garrett Mitchell is kind of questionable with this injury, but I wouldn't say he's out yet. Sal Frelick, I think Sal Frelick has a very good shot of making it now. Brasso, Caratini, of course. Castanjura, I'm still borderline. That could be Weimer. That could be Weimer or Owen Miller. And then Luke Voigt. I think Luke Voigt's a lock. Then, of course, Corbin, Brandon, Freddie, Eric, Wade, Bush, Guerra, Adrian Hauser, Holby Milner, High Amps, Strzelecki, Devin Williams, and Gus Varlin is going to make it, I feel, at this point. They haven't shown me anything. And I think the reason we're this loaded in this position is because we knew stuff would happen. I mean, Tyrone Taylor, you couldn't predict a Tyrone Taylor. If you didn't have this outfield core, you wouldn't be able to get where you are getting right now. So that's very important. I'm betting hard against the John Garcia trio, but that doesn't mean that's going to happen. Oh, looks like Sal Frelick got back today. Did not get in the lineup, but I think Sal Frelick, if we get all three, okay, I'm going to put this out there. If we get all three, Weimer, Frelick, and Mitchell, all in the same outfield at the same time, this is going to be one hell of a season. And you can DH. You can still use Christian Yelich and Jesse Winker. You can DH him. You know, put the young guys. Let the young guys beat up their bodies. Let the young guys get the experience in the field. That's what I think. That's what I fucking think, guys. Yeah. Did I cover anything else this week? Did I talk about anything? I don't know. I don't even know, guys. Like, there's been so much. When you do this every day, it just gets to the point where you've talked circles on certain topics. And I feel like the roster is that topic that I've just talked circles on, round and round. Everyone who supports the channel, I just want to give a big shout out, a big thank you. We talked about Willie Adamas coming back. We talked now Freelick's back. Bally Sports. Oh, Bally Sports has been this hard spot for everybody. We are going to get games on Bally Sports. They are going to be aired. Don't worry. We're going to see it. It's just they aren't going to be here for the long haul. That's what it comes down to. And it's either going to have to get sold or MLB is going to step in, and then we might see the end of the blackouts. Sorry, blackouts. The Corbin Burns is learning the new rule. That was interesting. I don't know. Hopefully they'll have that all settled up, and we'll know all the rules by Mike Troutson. 1 for 1. 2 outs, runner on third. He's such a professional. I love Trout. Yeah, so the storylines we're following right now is Garrett Mitchell and kind of where I guess what decisions they're going to make. Are they going to go with Luke Voigt? Are they going to ditch Castanera? That's going to have to be a DFA. And would anybody actually pick him up if they DFA him? Maybe. I could see him going to like the Rays or something like that, because that just sounds like a Rays-esque move. And then go back. Go back to Monday. Monday we had a good chat with Greg Matzik of 620. That was a great conversation. Short, but a good conversation. He said he'd come back though, so hopefully we can get that to happen. All right, guys. I'm gonna let it end here. I'm gonna roll. We're at the 35-minute mark. I'm gonna keep watching this game, guys. Go Team USA. This is exciting. Trout's 2-2 count. Ooh, strikeout. Strikeout with a runner on third. That's how we end the podcast today. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. All right, guys. Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go subscribe. Favorite platform. Anchor, which is now Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Rumble. Go on over to the Patreon, Miller Park Minute on Patreon. Go sign up there. You can use the SeatGeek code for your upcoming tickets. Guys, if you're going to buy tickets right now, go over to SeatGeek. They give you a scale, 1 to 10. 10 being the best. Or I'm sorry, no, they're like color-coded. It's a color-coded system. And it rates the tickets and the deal. And then you can save $10 off of that purchase from there. So we're also on Google, Amazon, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Radio Public. You name it. We're there, guys. This is Eric with the Miller Park Minute. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, go Brewers and go Team USA. Let's go. 3-2 right now. I'm gonna keep watching this game. I might live tweet about this. Who knows? Miller Minute on Twitter if you want to chat at me about the game on Twitter. All right, guys. You have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Brew Crew. Peace.